What's up, my dudes? I got that automatic supersonic hypnotic funky fresh shifting here, and let's see how quick I can get destroyed. So I haven't actually played with this. Wait a minute. Okay, so you can still shift even though it has automatic shifting on, so I'm just going to have to tell my mind not to actually hit the shift button. That's kind of bizarre how you can still shift in the automatic. I don't know. I wasn't expecting to be able to do that, but it's been a decade and a half since I've actually played with the automatic shifting, so I really can't remember what it's like hardly at all. I mean, I don't even know if I really ever played with it. Like, I think it was really just accidentally had it on there at the beginning kind of thing. And then I figured out, like, oh, hey, you basically can't really play this game like that. It's going to be hard to tell myself not to shift. Like, that's going to be almost impossible. Let's see. I'll just try to do it as best I can here. So, whoa. Yeah, it's going to be a totally different game. It's going to be pretty much impossible to huck any sort of bigger triple in, I'm assuming. Good thing this JGSX track is pretty simplistic. Good thing it's not like some crazy-ass rhythms. Oh my god, got an itch on my neck. Do a little one-hander lander on that finish line jump there, but yeah, most of the time these JGSX tracks aren't too crazy difficult, so you can kind of get around them on some different crazy challenges like this. Oh, yeah, I can still hop over that and then still jump over that. But I do not recommend running this automatic shifting. It's just, I mean, I guess if you're just starting in the game, then, you know, if you're just trying to learn your balance on the bike and stuff, and you came from one of those arcade games where it's automatic shifting, I mean, I guess you could have it on there for just a little while, but the longer you go without it, the worse it's probably going to end up being. So, I mean, you know, at the beginner stage, it's kind of, you need to just do anything you can to learn the bike, basically. That's kind of the whole trick. And once you start learning the bike, then you really start going into those, you take off all those little handicap motions and different things in the game, and that's how you get to a point where you've got more dynamic movements on the bike and stuff like that. I think I can, yeah, buddy, we can hook right up over that. It just takes a little bit of a different riding style with this automatic shifting. Like, you got to be way more smooth with it. You just got to be way more patient, way more smooth. I got so many video ideas. It's not even funny, people. I mean, it's just, oh my god, there's so many videos I'm going to be coming out with. I'm on a new level. I mean, it's just like, this 2018, man, is going to be insane for my YouTube channel and basically everything. It's just, I haven't been this enthusiastic about it probably ever before. And that's one thing that you learn. I know I'm kind of getting off onto something else here, but that's one thing that you learn. The one thing that you're really battling with in your life, it's not that you're battling anybody else or anything else. You're actually battling your own laziness. That's the one thing that you're fighting against. You know, you're battling your own motivation. Like, you're trying to find motivation in something, because I don't care how hard you work at something, if you don't want it, it's not going to happen. Like, you can do as much hard work as you want and, you know, slave away at it, but if you don't have that want for it, then it's not going to work out either way. So the whole entire battle is trying to figure out something that gives you that motivation to make it to where it's a do or die situation and you want it more than anything else you ever wanted in your entire life. You know, it has to get to that point. But it's crazy how, like, you know, you're always thinking, oh, well, it's me versus this guy, or me versus the YouTube system, or me versus whatever, me versus an upload every day, or whatever the case may be. But it's really not that. It's you versus your own laziness and your own lack of motivation. And once you find that, once you find ways to get that, that's the whole trick. You know, because once you have the motivation, you'll push down walls to make it happen, dude. Like, it don't matter. You know, you'll do anything to make it happen. So that's one thing I've kind of learned in life is it's all more about your own, it's you versus you, basically. It's you versus you got to figure out something that makes you want to get up every day and do it, you know, and you actually like to do it. That's the whole key to it, but that's a whole nother video. Let me not get off on that here, but okay. I mean, this automatic shifting's not, it's not half bad on a track like this. I mean, I could actually pro race with this. I know I've said that in some other videos on some different challenges, but yeah, I mean, you can still get the trip ski in ski, but you just got to swing everything a little bit more wide. I think if you're in a race type scenario, it'd be a whole lot more challenging because obviously when you're in them race type scenarios, you're more so having to like cut up the insides and really slam on the brakes and then hit the gas hard and do like a hook on the inside of a finish line jump or something like that. It'd be a lot harder to do it with this automatic shifting and still be able to get the right kind of drive and traction. I don't think you'd be able to do it that simplistically as you might think, but it's not as bad as I thought. I will say that. It's not as bad as I thought originally. Very bizarre that you can still, I just can't believe that you can still shift and shift up and shift down even when you have automatic shifting on. I mean, I don't know. It seems a little weird that you can still do that. I guess if you really wanted to make it like a pure challenge, you would just have to totally take those buttons off your controller altogether. Your shift up and your shift down, you'd have to like put it on your keyboard or something. That way you wouldn't, you know, accidentally hit it. I've accidentally hit the downshift a couple times here. I don't actually hit the upshift. I accidentally hit the downshift a couple times because you're just so used to downshifting when you come into a corner. I guess that's what makes you like kind of accidentally hit that downshifter. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, I can still hook that little quad. It shifts at pretty good intervals, believe it or not. It's shifting fairly well. I mean, you could get used to this, no doubt about it. You really could. I know it sounds crazy, but you actually could get used to this. You're just going to see a lot more troublesome whenever you're not able to just go wherever you want on the track. In most racing scenarios, you're going everywhere except where you want to go. You know, you're hitting all these crazy unorthodox different lines and rhythms and crap that you can't just normally, and that's a really big difference between practicing and actually racing in this game. If you're just practicing all the time, you never get that experience of being forced to like hit these crazy lines and crazy areas on the track that you otherwise would never hit. You know, that's why the racing practicing is actually so much more important than just practicing by yourself, because you just get so much more of that experience. I don't care if you're on one of those servers where there's just lappers blowing all over the track and everything, it still gives you experience, and I still do that to this day. I still like to get on those servers and try to go in there and just race with other people. You know, get other people on the track. It doesn't matter if I'm lapping them 5 times. I still like to do that because it forces me to get out of my comfort zone on the track. And that's a really big tip if you're trying to learn how to race, because you're going to be in a humongous shocking disappointment if all you've ever done is practice by yourself on a track, and then all of a sudden you start trying to race. You're gonna get straight lapped, dude. Like, unless you pull that whole shot, you're not gonna have that same experience as you did when you were practicing by yourself. And most of the time, I mean, odds are you're probably not gonna get the whole shot and lead every single lap. So a lot of the pro racing is being able to work through the pack. It really is. That's probably 80% of the battle right there, you know, being able to work back through the pack, because odds are, I mean, at least, you know, a lot of your starts are not going to be whole shots, because it's a little bit different than real life in the whole shot sense, because it's everyone's a little bit more bonsai. Like I've always said, they're a little bit more wild on the bike because they ain't really worried about crashing because they're not going to get hurt. So everyone's a little bit more like, oh, I'm going to get this whole shot on the start. So instead of having like 3 or 4 people trying to go for it like you do in real life, you basically got like 18 or 19 people wide open to the corner. So unless you just have the perfect gate or something like that, you can't really guarantee a start in this game like you could maybe in real life as much. But so you have to be good at going through the pack. I know that's kind of a separate video. I need to go in there and make some different guides and stuff on some of that. But yeah, so many videos going to be coming out, man. Just wait. It's coming, dude. I mean, like I'm saying, my motivation is at an all-time high for this now. It's and I had lost it there. I just kind of lost it. I don't really know how to explain it, but the past kind of year, whenever I was getting this new PC, around that time, I started doing some other things, and it kind of made me lose my go mode, you know? And one of the most important things is keeping that go mode going, because if you ever let it slip, then it seems like it's so much easier to keep it going than it is to start it back up. It's kind of like a dirt bike, you know. It's so much easier to keep that bike running instead of it totally dying and then you having to try to start it up again. So much easier. And it's the same way with actually doing like a YouTube channel or playing MX Simulator, any of that stuff. It's so much easier just to keep it going on a consistent basis than it is to like start it, stop it, start it, stop it, because then you're playing catch up all the time and then you're doing double the work. And then you're losing motivation because you're working too damn hard, you know? So there's kind of a balance there where you got to, like, you don't want to overwork it, and then you're not even making quality product, you know what I mean? You're not even getting quality time put in on it. So there's just a little bit of a balance. Even though I think hard work is the most important aspect, you still have to have the motivation to want to do that hard work. So that's kind of what I was getting at there. You know, if you don't have the motivation, you can just blindly sort of slave away at it, but at the end of the day, you're not really getting as much done as you might think you are, you know? So, but anyways, yeah, this track is basically your JGSX Supercross track. I mean, his tracks are very, very similar. I want to see JGSX break out of the box a little bit, you know? I'm not saying that in a negative way. I mean, I love probably 95% of his tracks, but I just think it would be cool to see his sort of style into some crazier types of tracks out there. I think that would be pretty sick, but he's got a very stout reputation of like a certain type of track, so I guess if he tried to break out of that box too much, people might be a little bit disappointed, but I wouldn't be disappointed at all. JGSX, or JGMX. What is your actual name? I think it's like Josh, something like that. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't be disappointed at all if you went in there and made some kind of crazier style track. I think it would be sick, man, but either way, got all of my other MX Simulator Challenge sort of videos. I'll see if I can put all these in a playlist. Somebody said that in a comment. They was like, oh, dude, you can just call it MX Simulator Challenge. I don't really want to put that in the title of each one of these videos because then it just clogs up the title, but I may actually make try to go in there and make a playlist and put all these random videos like only in first gear, automatic shifting, stock suspension, you know, all that crap that I've been doing. I'll try to get that in a playlist here pretty soon, whenever I get the time to do it, so that you guys don't have to try to sit there and scope through all the videos. It's a little bit harder to do it with these type of videos because you can't just type in, you know, MX Simulator wide open or track review, because all of these videos are a little bit different with what I do with them, so I think they're a little bit harder to find in that sense, but I'll try to get them together here pretty soon. So either way, don't forget all of my social media stuff, Instagram, Twitter. I'm going to try to get back on that. I just been grinding on this YouTube thing here recently. Been putting a lot of time into MX Simulator and YouTube. That's basically been both my main focuses here recently. So we're going to keep on that grind, but I'll get back to doing the Twitter and Instagram thing here pretty soon. And also, you can add me on Xbox Live or PlayStation Network. That new Call of Duty is coming out. I'll be rocking on that quite a bit. We may do some zombies and stuff if any of you guys are on or something. So you can definitely add me on that. All of that stuff is just Spencer Turley, no space, no capital. So it's basically exactly like my YouTube channel, but just without a space or any capital letters. So definitely follow me on there, and if you want to. If not, I got it, dog. It's all good. So either way, I appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.